Hey world, welcome to the Nola Experience podcast. I am your host, Nola, and I am here with my co host, Mr. Melee.
What up? What's happening? Yeah.
Uh, Everything is happening. The world is shifting.
Everything is happening.
Everything is happening all at
That is
once.
such a great point. Everything really
Yeah,
is happening.
everything on every level. You got family stuff, you got friend stuff, social media stuff, political stuff, health crises.
hmm
Oh, yeah.
Everything is happening
Everything's
all at the
happening.
same time. Ooh, boom, mind blown already.
But it's all good, we'll take the challenges because we are a part of history. I'm super excited to be alive right now and experience all of these different things that people are going to be talking about 100 years from now. You know how we look back at people from 100 years ago and we're like, why did they do that? They didn't know
hmm
better. People are going to be
Uh-huh.
talking about us like that. Like, why did they do that? They used to argue on Instagram. That's stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. So what's happening? What's popping?
Ain't nothing popping. Ain't nothing hatting and catting except everything.
Except for everything. What- What's happening?
I have a joke,
Okay, I like jokes.
but if it's not funny, you are required to still laugh.
I'm gonna
And
laugh anyway. If it's not funny, I'll probably laugh harder, to be honest.
okay, great, but just make sure the laugh sounds good. It doesn't sound like, oh, that was corny, right? So,
Okay.
how can you tell when a person is vegan?
Oh, dang. How can you tell when a person is vegan and it's a joke, right? So it got to be funny. Um,
It's actually not funny.
so it's a riddle.
It's pretty
How
dumb,
can you?
but it says a lot. The answer is, how can you tell when a person is vegan? They will tell you. You get it? You get it? Do you get it or not? Do you
I do
not?
not get it.
Well, the thing about vegans
How is
is,
that a joke?
well, maybe a white person wrote it. Sorry, white people. That's what you do. I'm sorry. No, not
Oh,
throwing shade. You're just not. But
well, at least you didn't make it up.
well, no. What? Anything I make up is funny for real.
Okay.
Vegans, they want you to fucking know they're vegans. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Uh huh.
Like, it's everywhere. They
Yeah.
want you to know. It's
Yeah.
in their bios. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. Why is that?
I don't know. I think for different people, there are different reasons. Obviously, if you're using social media as a business platform and you're branding yourself as such, you want to mention that because then it appeals to your market, your niche market, right?
Uh-huh.
That's one thing. I get that. But on a personal level, I think some people also want to connect with their community. They want other people to know, hey, me too, just in case we need to
Mhm.
connect on that, share
Uh-huh.
information and whatnot. Even though this has been the oldest way of eating,
Mhm.
I feel like for so many people, it's still very new,
Sure.
still very new.
Absolutely.
So, and
Now
then for
it's
some people, and then there's a group of people, right?
uh-huh.
They just feel like, I'm vegan. That makes me special. I have an edge on you. I have a level of discipline that you don't have. So I'm going to mention it so you can see me and you can know that I am above you. Yeah.
Those are the people that fuck it up for everybody, for all the rest of the vegans, and for
how,
everybody, I
how do
guess.
they fuck it up? Like, in what way?
Because it's like that sense of like entitlement, and like you want to tell people like something that they didn't ask or we don't care to know. It's like,
But I feel like I should get
where do
more
you come
respect.
off?
I eat way more cucumbers than you do, so you should respect me. I get it, you know? I want the whole world to bow down to me because I eat lettuce more than you do. And my jaws are stronger. All of that fucking chewing of vegetables is a lot of work. My jaws are stronger and I'm elite.
Point proven. Chin up. Yeah, yeah, I hear that a lot about vegans, and that's why people have this low key hate towards vegans. Also because it is
Really?
something that is against the norm. Oh yeah, there's vegan haters out there for
Well,
sure, for sure.
let me just say something really quickly. Yes, I am making fun of the people who they do feel like they're on another level
Uh
and
huh.
there's some type of superiority involved there.
Yeah.
But I am vegan. So I'm making fun of
So you
my
can make the joke
yeah,
basically.
these are my people. I'm not doing it, from a different angle. You're my peoples. So,
When did you become vegan?
um I have been dabbling with it for a very long time, just dabbling. But the word vegan popped up, um I think, for me, maybe when my son was a toddler. Someone asked me or challenged me on Facebook. They were like, "Yo, are you frozen?" Or, okay, because you sit so
Oh,
still. I'm like, "Is he frozen? Are we connected?"
I'm tuned in.
Um, so someone challenged me to go vegan, and I was like, "Why would I want to do that? Like, it makes no sense. What am I
Mm.
gonna eat? Why?"
How long ago was this?
This was when my son was a toddler, so maybe 6 years ago,
Okay.
maybe 7 years ago. I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh, and I was just like, no, because the pickings are slim. I'm gonna be bored out of my mind, not being able
Hmm.
to do what I do with food. And it didn't seem like it didn't make sense to me. So
Yeah.
I shot that down. I was very vocal about it. I was open, transparent. I was like, no, I don't see why it doesn't click. So no, I'm not doing it. And then at some point, because even though I felt that way, I was already a person who was very much into what I ate. Like, I was always conscious about what I was eating. Um,
Specific diet or just eating
I was just
healthy?
um I'm glad that you put quotes around the word healthy, because
Huh.
that word right there, I don't know why there's a spectrum when it comes
Uh-huh.
to healthy, but there is. Somebody might show you a plate and that they consider healthy, and I'm like, not really, not the chicken part. um but yeah, I was on the organic thing. I was eating 100% organic.
Uh,
Literally decided there's certain things I'm no longer going to do so I can afford to eat organic. Like, I literally had to start doing my own hair, stop going to the hairdresser.
whoa.
Yeah, I saved myself maybe $3,000 within a short period of time, and that went towards food. I seriously, because I needed
Yeah.
to make that dietary change, because
Yeah.
I was having health issues.
Uh,
But the organic route did wonders for me. I will never not eat organic. That has to be it. I have to eat organic. Um,
mm,
but then when you're eating organic, it really forces you to become educated about food and start discovering new things. And as I'm doing the research, as I'm learning more and discovering more, um, it made me go into the pescatarian world where I was only eating, seafood.
so it was organic and then seafood, like
Yeah, but I was only eating
organic seafood.
wild caught
Yeah.
um, seafood, not anything that's raised on a farm. I
Nothing in
don't.
a bag.
Well, they came in bags, but it's the source that was the issue. Like,
Got you.
was this fish raised on a farm or did it come from the sea?
Uh-huh.
Which I always made sure it was wild caught. Um, it's nuts. Like, just imagine if you ever see how fish are raised on a farm, you're not gonna eat them.
Ooh.
You're
Okay,
not.
I might have to look into that because that's all I eat now.
It's nuts because just seeing maybe 10,000 different um species of whatever in one little pond, and they literally have no space. They're not swimming around, they're all just in this tiny space. There's literally nowhere to move, so they're just like this, wiggling
Mm.
or vibrating in place
Wow.
because they're not moving around. And just to see thousands of them in that one space just doing that, you know how fish look when they're out of water and they're just
Oh, yeah, yeah,
flipping
yeah.
around?
Uh-huh.
It kind of looks like that, but
In
it's
water.
in
Wow.
it. Ugh, it's disgusting. But
Mm.
yeah. So even on a pescatarian diet, I only ate wild caught salmon, shrimp, whatever. And yo, one day I was in the supermarket and I read a salmon label, and that shit dead ass says color was added to this. So when you see
Wow.
salmon that has that, salmon pink
Super orange, pink,
color,
yeah, color.
yep, it was probably injected with that so it can look
Wow.
normal, because when they raise it on the farm, it didn't get the nutrients and the proper environment to develop and look the way it's
Uh,
supposed to look. And if
uh,
somebody comes to you with a white salmon, you're going to be like, why is salmon white? So
wow.
they added
They add
color to
color.
it to make it look rich. So stayed away from stuff like that. And then of course doing more research, learning more, and just being in the food world period, I ended up um ditching that, especially when that oil spill
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
When that
Is it
happened,
BP or something like that?
yes, the
BP
BP
oil
oil
spill?
spill.
Wow. Yep.
That definitely took me out of the
Uh,
seafood realm. I didn't want to have anything to do with that, so I just
yeah.
pulled myself out of that, and started um vegetarian lifestyle, where there's no meat involved, there's no seafood involved, but I did have dairy and I did have eggs. I didn't think that I could stop eating eggs,
Yeah.
but eggs are so important. I probably ate eggs almost every day. And
Most
then I,
people do.
yeah, and of course, again, with more education, more research, learning more, um, transitioned into a vegan lifestyle, and or I would say vegan diet rather. There's a difference. And I will never go back. I will absolutely never not be vegan.
Um, so when you did you do it cold turkey or did you like
Hell no.
yeah, cuz oof, I
Nah.
tried that.
Everything that I just told you was a span of um 13 years or so.
Ooh.
No. No, am I doing my math wrong? 2000, yeah, 11 years or so.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Everything
it
that I just said.
started with the raw and then the pescatarian
It
and
started
then
with organic.
yeah, organic,
Yeah,
then the pescatarian thing, then into vegan.
then
But
vegetarian, then vegan,
oh,
yeah.
then vegetarian, then vegan,
Mhm.
yeah. So you said you were when you were vegetarian you were eating dairy and eggs.
Mhm.
Um so did it come a point what was the transition for you go from vegetarian to vegan?
Well, I
And
discovered Dr. Sabi.
ah,
Yeah, I discovered him, and when he talked about, first of all, hearing that a person cured AIDS,
yes.
hearing that a person cured HIV/AIDS, hearing that a person cured syphilis, chlamydia, diabetes, all
Uh-huh.
of these different things, hearing that there's a cure, because all along, what we knew is that You can't cure a virus.
Uh-huh.
It's there. It's yours. But here comes a man who did that, and then he
Mhm.
had receipts. He was locked up because if you're not a medical doctor, you cannot
Yeah.
make claims. And also you're not, it's illegal to treat people and then make
Yeah.
claims. You're not supposed to use the word cure. You can't. You can say, and if you pay attention to how people talk, because I hear it now, people will
Mhm.
say, if you do this and you eat this and you take this, it will help with this condition
Yeah.
or this disease. But they will never say, I will cure you, because that's
Uh,
illegal. It's illegal to
uh,
say that you're curing people. So
mm,
when he talked about the fact that mucus is the basis of every single disease,
mm,
I was like, okay, even if I have cereal with whole milk, because even my milk was organic, I only used whole organic milk, which tastes completely different from the milk that most people use. It's richer, it's creamier, it's
mm.
sweeter, it's delicious, right? Um, Even when you drink milk, I can literally feel my throat just being phlegmy
Yeah, yeah.
immediately after. Even if I have coffee and I put a little bit of creamer in it, right after
Uh-huh.
I have the coffee, now I feel phlegmy, like I have to spit. It's gross. So I do see how it immediately starts to form this coating and this thick,
Mm-mm.
disgusting feeling. And yeah, I don't want no parts of that. If you have mucus in your body, okay. But if the mucus stays for a prolonged period of time, it starts to crystallize. And once it
Oh,
becomes crystallized, the next step is cancer.
mm, makes
Yeah.
sense. And these were the teachings from Dr. Save.
Yeah. And I even experimented with an alkaline vegan diet, which is what he was all about. He was all about eating foods that were not acidic, that were
Mm,
alkaline. And I experimented with that. I absolutely loved it, but it's very challenging for me.
yeah.
And of course, I reverted back to just being vegan, but I'm very conscious of it. So I make sure that for the most part, I'm incorporating that, and I try my best to have a ratio of foods that are not acidic or mucus forming.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really look at the list of foods that he approved, man, the list is not long at all. It's a
Yeah.
short list,
Yeah.
that's a really big challenge for people.
And that's a lot because that's mainly because a lot of stuff is like GMO now, right? Like even a
Precisely.
lot of the vegetables and stuff
Yeah,
have been
exactly.
modified to be for what, different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mass production.
Uh-huh.
People like to say, I get it. The government needs to feed a lot of people. So it makes sense that you have GMO so that you can accommodate this large population of people. And I'm like, bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. If you go outside, you will see 1,000 trees and none of them feed people. You don't need the government to feed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can plant your own food, but we're already in a space, in a structure that doesn't truly accommodate that type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you have 300 people living in an apartment complex, where's the garden? You go
Mm,
outside, the only thing you see is a sidewalk, mad cars. You probably don't even have a park in your neighborhood. So where are you
mm,
planting anything? There, all this concrete that's blocking the energy from the earth. Where are you planting? So a lot of people are stuck in that type of structure. So, but that whole thing about, yeah, GMO is good because the population needs to be fed, that's bullshit. Stop believing it. Doesn't make sense.
yeah, it's I tried vegan for literally one day. I think um the thing that, and I feel like eventually I will transition into becoming vegan.
I
I'm
think you will.
only pescatarian now.
Most people will become vegan, or the future is vegan. A lot of people who are,
Hmm.
looking at it crazy right now will become
Yeah,
vegan at some point, because not only um will a lot of people end up sick, I'm not throwing that out there for people, but it's science that if you keep putting things in your body that doesn't belong in your body, after a while your body's going to start reacting to it, the same way how you make sure you put the right oil and stuff in your car,
sure.
or it won't function properly. But the body is just so highly sophisticated that, yeah, you'll abuse it and beat it up over time, but it constantly just keeps fighting to make sure that it's okay. So you think that you're good, but after a while the body's like, nah, I'm good. You don't have respect for me. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
So but what made you like not move forward after that one day?
It was just so difficult. I tend to get in my head a lot, and I think I was psyching myself out by like I was, starting to read the back end of the packages, and I see, oh, this has butter in it. Oh, this has eggs in it. It was like I was starting to get a little too critical
Yeah,
about every little thing, and
yeah.
that just like started making me a little crazy. And I was like, all right, I gotta chill.
It
I
is
gotta go in
overwhelming.
this slower, much slower, because I was
Yeah,
just like, I tried to do a cold turkey. That was the
yeah.
mistake. I tried to be like, all right, tomorrow I'm starting. And it was like I wasn't prepared, no meal prep, nothing. And I think that's what like completely threw me for a loop, because I did do it for that one day, but it was just like, what am I gonna do tomorrow?
Yeah. It is intimidating, and that's the reason why I got into with my company, Sumptuous Vegan. I
Yeah.
teach people how to transition into veganism, and the people who are new to veganism, I teach them how to figure out what to eat. I'm actually mentoring 3 people um who want to become vegan, and that's the one thing I tell them all the time. Even as your mentor, even though the goal is to become vegan, I never tell them, hey, wake up tomorrow and eat vegan. I don't do that.
Yeah.
We figure out what their lifestyle looks like what do you typically eat for breakfast? Okay, so if you're typically eating toast, bacon, eggs for breakfast, the only thing that I would tell them is add an apple to it. I don't tell them take out the
Hmm.
eggs, take out the
Yeah,
bacon,
yeah,
take
yeah.
out the butter. Keep eating what you're eating, but add an apple to it. And then add some vegetables to your lunch, add some vegetables to your dinner, and make sure that every single day at every single meal you're eating a plant.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is just get your body acclimated to eating plants anyway. And then
Uh-huh.
I start challenging them to have a breakfast that doesn't have meat in it.
Uh-huh.
So whether it's like oats, with you can have oats with banana, cinnamon, raisin.
Grits.
Y-
I like grits. Is grits a side?
it can be if you want it to be. It depends on how you like to eat. It can be a side. It can be the main.
Okay.
Depends on how much, but I love grits too. But thank you for yeah.
um, yeah, I was gonna say, um, oh damn, I just completely got a brain fart.
Brain fart.
Shoot. All right, whatever. It'll come back to me. So I was also what is the biggest thing? Because I think a lot of people are, even me, when I stopped eating meat. The main reason I really stopped eating meat was because of well, not stop eating meat because I eat fish, but I stopped eating like steak and chicken and pork, is because animals, the animal rights part of it. I was starting to get connected in my spirituality, and doing meditation and stuff, and I was noticing that I was becoming more sensitive to those things, like just sensitive in general, but like way more sensitive to animals or to any living thing. And I was just like uh starting to get like just this weird connection to like the trees and the animals and stuff. And it was even to the point like I remember one time I was driving, and I a squirrel ran in front of my car, and I almost hit it. I didn't even hit it. I almost hit the squirrel,
And you
and
were frazzled.
I almost burst into tears.
Yeah.
I almost burst into tears, and I was like, "Yo." this is like I'm really getting connected to, I think, nature on
Yeah.
another level. I've always been a big nature head. Like I've always
Oh
loved
yeah.
animals and being outside and stuff. But then I started to get connected to nature in that way. And then I was like, um, yeah, so I can't, how can I be connected and feel like animals are beings that are, you know, feeling, they love, they have children, they, you know, they play, they laugh, all these things, and I'm like, but we're eating and killing them. So
Yeah.
that was my big step into me becoming, well, taking the steps towards becoming like, well, stop eating meat first, and then now me trying to take the steps into becoming vegan, because of that. Have you heard too many? Because I don't hear that perspective too much. I hear a lot of people more so saying about the health reasons. How do you feel like, what's the percentage of people that you say have heard that perspective from versus the people who are doing it for health reasons?
It's a small percentage. Honestly, that if you look at the percentage, I don't know the exact numbers, but based on my experience and based on my research, overall, um, people are mostly thinking of themselves when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to transitioning in any type of diet. But I specifically in the Black community,
Uh-huh.
it's almost everyone that I know, almost everyone that I've encountered do it for health reasons. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when I've spoken to or had encounters with, let's just say, Caucasian people, um, for comparison, that's where you will see more people popping up talking about, you know, the environment and whatnot. And that's just, based on my experiences. And I think, regardless of what your reason is, if you feel like I have to take extra steps to protect my body, to protect the planet, whatever it is, if it's something that you're doing to make something better, I'm here for it.
I remember what I was gonna say before. For those people, like for those listening and they're thinking like, "Whoa, I could never become a vegan." I was one of those people that this idea was so foreign to me. I was one of those people, every time that I went out, I had to have steak. I was a
Ooh.
super steak guy, steak and burgers. I was big on burgers. I went everywhere I went. I wanted to try different burgers, see which was the best burger, you
Mm.
know, which had the best meat, different types of burgers, all of this stuff. Same thing with steak. Like every time I went out, I was like, okay, this. I was like one of those people, like, yo, where can we get a good steak? Oh yeah, so we're gonna go down to your left or right. You're gonna go 4 miles, and you're gonna make a right turn, and then this little spot on the. I was one of those guys.
so
Like
you
I
had
know,
so you had the stinkest fart.
stinkest farts.
Your farts must have been
Clear the room.
lethal. Clear the block.
But yeah, I was definitely one of those people. Like I was a heavy meat eater. I was raised that way, born and raised that way, like eating meat with every meal. We ate a lot of vegetables as well, but I was definitely big on eating meat. So this idea was, for most of my life, very foreign to me. So for those people who are thinking that, yo, that could never be me, that's never a possibility for me, just trust me. Like it's a thing. And I think that came to my mind because you said that vegan is the future.
Yeah.
And I feel that way because I'm one of those people. If you ask me 10 years ago or 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, if I would stop eating meat, I would probably be like, heck no,
Yeah, me too.
hell to the no.
Same
So,
here. And I thought that, well, I'm having organic meat, so this is good for my body.
mm,
But once I completely eliminated meat and once I stopped drinking milk and all that stuff, my body just feels different. I feel
yeah,
lighter. My family has this thing where we really joke and believe that we have a gassy family. We literally say, like, this whole
we're just
family.
all gassy.
Yeah, we really say that we're gassy.
Uh,
um and you will have people meet up for a celebration or a holiday or whatever, and there's just a whole bunch of gas going on. And I thought I was a part of that until I switched over, and oh, okay, no, we're not gassy people. We're all eating this shit.
Uh-huh.
You know
It's
what I
the
mean?
shit
And
that's making the gas.
absolutely, for
That's
certain.
crazy.
Yeah.
Have you noticed big changes in like well you physically, like
Mhm.
visually,
Yeah.
physically, and then internally physically, have you
Yeah.
noticed a big switch in, from you being eating meat,
Yeah.
being vegetarian, pescatarian, and now vegan?
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that I will say is uh when you one thing that I experienced eating meat is if I go outside, I sweat a little bit, I work out, whatever, my armpits, I perspire, and you smell that
Uh-huh.
perspiration and you're just like, okay, that's just sweat.
Yeah.
And it's a normal thing, nothing to it. Um and then using the bathroom and the whole block needs to be what do you
Excavated.
call it? Yes. Uh, uh, excavated is not the word. It's so
uh,
funny that I was thinking excavated too. That's hilarious, but it's
uh,
not that.
uh,
But everybody got to leave.
uh,
But and then getting to a place where I had someone at my house one time. I used the bathroom, and then they went in right after me. And when she came out, we were sitting down watching TV, and we were talking. And then and for some reason, the conversation came up. She was like, "Wait, you took a shit? I would have never thought you
uh,
took a shit. There's no way
uh,
you just took a shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. You don't." She was like, I don't smell anything." And
uh,
that's, one very, very, very big difference, especially with dairy, because even if you smell milk, I don't know, like if you're used to it, maybe it doesn't resonate with you that way, but if I
uh,
smell it now, I can smell the rankness in it.
yeah.
Even eggs, like if I smell cake or I smell dessert, I know it has eggs in it, and it just makes me
Ooh,
want to throw up. It
wow.
just smells bad. It smells bad. Like I smell chicken, I smell raw chicken, I smell raw fish and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. Open a
Mm,
window,
wow.
burn a candle. Yeah.
How does it
Seriously.
make how does it make you feel physically? Like, do you
Good.
feel
Lighter.
lighter? Uh-huh.
Lighter for sure. The lightness is very important to me because the heaviness was a very big
Yeah.
problem
Yeah.
over the years. Like you're walking around and you just feel like, what's going on in my belly? What is it? And for some reason we're not doing the math. Like we're not putting two and two together and
Uh-huh.
um coming to the conclusion that you're literally walking around with you're on a cellular level. Even your cells are struggling because it has so much extra work to do, and your digestive system has a lot of work to do because there's certain
Yeah.
foods that your body struggles to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Steak, burgers, for one, if you have to digest red meat, your body is really struggling to make that happen,
Yeah.
and you end up feeling depleted. You feel tired because there's so much
Oh,
work that needs
tell
to
me
be
about it.
done. So just that drained, tired, heavy
Yeah.
thing. There's another misconception that I think people have. People feel like once you become vegan, you're going to become mad skinny. It's not true.
Uh-huh.
It regardless of what type of diet you're on or what type of lifestyle you're in, you still have to choose what you eat within that lifestyle. So
Sure.
even as a vegan, you can still eat burgers all day long. You can still eat french fries all day long. You can have this beyond meat. Don't eat that shit.
Oh, I just
Stay
bought that.
stay away from the beyond meats. It's no good for you. The estrogen levels are crazy. It's
Uh-huh.
super higher than what's supposed to be in your body. It can give you cancer. Don't do it.
Oh, okay.
Um
Good talk.
yeah, it's like, okay, now you're helping people eat something that they're familiar with, but then you're still fucking indirectly
Yeah.
poisoning them, like what's the point?
I want to definitely make a I have an idea. Well, I'm not even gonna put my idea out there, but I want to make some. I've had like different meatless meat, like meat things options, meatballs, and um none of them are exactly like, well, which is not going to be the case. They're not going to be exactly like me, but I don't think there's none of them that have hit the nail on the head yet.
Nothing
That
is
that
going
are
to.
all encompassing, like that tastes good, that is great for you, that doesn't have a bunch of bullshit and preservatives and stuff in it, and sodium to keep it, like the old stuff.
And
I haven't had.
that's the reason why things like Beyond Meat would be so successful, because now it's being created in a lab, and these scientists are genius. They know exactly what needs to go in there to make it as close as possible. I had a Beyond Burger from Burger King, and let me
Mm,
tell you, I'm eating it, and as I'm eating it, I'm like, there's no way this is not meat, and it's messing with my head. It's making me
word, because that
nauseous. Like,
joint
and
that joint was
the first
is
time I had it,
a
it was
whopper.
good. I'm like, great, the Beyond Whopper. This was good. And then I tried a couple months later. I had it a second time. I couldn't eat it
Yeah,
because it was messing with my head too much. I'm like, nah, something about this doesn't click for me. I
yeah,
ended up buying Beyond sausages by accident. One day I ordered my groceries through Instacart, and the person who was doing the shopping, she wasn't able to get in touch with me to ask me what item she should get for me, because sometimes when you choose an item and the store doesn't have it, the person who's shopping will get a substitute.
yeah.
So she chose this Beyond Meat. Listen, when it came to the house, I cooked one of them. There's six in the container. I threw away the five. Even my
Damn.
son, he was like, "Mom, I'm not eating that, man. It just
Wow.
doesn't look right."
Yeah. That's another thing too. Like, I think you mentioned this briefly before too, but I couldn't, like, even now, I don't think that I can go back to eating meat. Like after, well, eating steak or chicken, or it's definitely not pork because the pork went first. But uh I try to kind of like wean back a little bit and eat like some chicken, or I think one time it was like Thanksgiving and they had like turkey, and I was like, all right, let me try some turkey, and I could not stomach it.
It's just
Like
not the
I
same.
could, yeah,
Your
it's like,
anatomy, your body adjusts to whatever is
uh-huh,
happening. And
yeah,
once that adjustment happens, then your body's like, listen, I'm already here. It's like when
yeah,
you're comfortable and somebody's asking you to move, you're
mm-hmm,
like, I'm not moving. And that's what your
yeah,
body's doing. Your body's like, I'm not going back to that shit, man. You got
yeah,
me here. Let's just stay here. And then
sure,
your body's also doing less work. Granted, you're eating cleaner. Your body's
uh-huh,
doing less work. So you have more energy.
mm-hmm. Especially if, like you said, especially if it's cleaner, your body's like, yo, we doing good.
Yeah.
Why you want to go back to the bed? We chilling. Come on, bro. You
Yeah.
better than
I
you
thoroughly
better than this,
enjoy,
bro.
I really love eating clean. I enjoy it. I love it. And I understand people who, there was a time when my mind was blown when, seeing grown people not want to drink water or not want to eat fruit or not want to
Crazy.
eat vegetables. And this is just me being naive, and thinking like, you're a grown person, you should already know that if you have to do something beneficial for your body, that you just have to do it. You're not a child. Grow up. Like, that
Mm-hmm.
was my mindset. But then after a
Mm,
while, when you pay attention and you really start to educate yourself, you understand that the brain doesn't work like that. If you've been doing one thing for 30 years, or you've been doing uh, a lifestyle for 50, 60 years, the
yeah.
brain doesn't just switch over
Yeah, you're
to,
conditioned.
yeah, to a new
Uh-huh.
thing. You literally have to transition into that slow as ever, and then take your time and really, if you're consistent and you're determined, you make your way through. But
Uh-huh.
other than that, it's very difficult. And people are like, vegetables don't taste good, water doesn't have a taste. I saw a commercial the other day. This guy's in the desert, and his mouth is dry. Obviously, he looks like he's about to die, and he
Yeah.
sees a cooler, and he opens the cooler and it's filled with a bunch of water, and he's like, water. And now he's mad because he doesn't want to drink water, so he closes the cooler. Here comes a helicopter, and they give him this thing. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember the name of it. Even if I remember the name, I wouldn't promote it. So
Yeah.
he caught it. The person in the helicopter threw it down to him. He took a bottle of water and poured the thing in the water because now it gives
Yeah.
the water flavor. It's red,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
when I see red, I'm thinking red 40, which,
What's that?
it, it's just uh, it's just food coloring.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh.
um and that's so damaging to the brain. So
Mm.
he's like, yeah. So the guy in the helicopter said, do you need a ride? He's like, nah, I'm good now, I'll walk. And pretty much I feel like that downplay of water is
Yeah.
so harmful, that's
Yeah.
so damaging. So
Like you can't
now,
have your water straight and natural. Like
yeah, what's
don't
the
don't drink
problem?
your water naturally.
Like, the most of this planet is made of water. You have to make peace with that shit. It's here
Facts.
for a reason. Most of the
Uh,
body is made of water.
That's another super fact.
Yeah.
You mentioned before that you started when your son was a toddler. So is he vegan? Is he
No,
100%? He's not vegan.
he's not vegan. I gave him the choice. I didn't really ask him, hey, would you like to be vegan? I just gauged what was happening with him. We did have the
Uh-huh.
conversation. I did tell him why veganism was important to me personally. And he was excited for it because his best friend at the time, she's vegan, and he wanted to be down. My best friend is vegan, and she still eats nuggets, she still eats all of these different things, obviously the vegan version. And he
Uh-huh.
felt like, I can do this. But when he's with his dad,
Yeah.
um it's a
Yeah.
different diet. And
Yeah, that's hard.
yeah, he'll call me up and say, mom, I had this, I had that, whatever. And um for me, initially there was a little bit of pushback. I was upset about it because I felt like this was the only toddler you've ever met who will sit there at a party and eat a plate of tomatoes.
Mm.
I was proud of having a baby who, first of all, from the time he could talk and we went to restaurants, I told him, I'm no longer ordering food for you. I'm letting you know from now. If you ever need
Ah.
anything in life, go and ask for it yourself.
Ah.
So when we go to restaurants and the waiter comes over, the waiter will look at me and say, so what is the kid eating? I'm like, ask him. He's right there. And of course he'll place his order, and he'll say, may I please have a salad on the side? And they're 100% of the time they're like, what, you eat salad? And I was so proud of having this kid
Yeah.
who wanted his vegetables. But then when he got exposed to other types of food, one day he called
Them
me.
chicken nuggets, man.
That's exactly what I was about to say. He
Them
called
chicken
me
nuggets.
and he was like, mom, I had nuggets from Wendy's. Life has never been the same. Like, I
Yeah.
had a kid that we could drive by McDonald's and he didn't even know what it was.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
saw that big yellow M and it was nothing. You know how I don't know if you know this, but there's some kids you can't even drive by McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
It's a tantrum in the car, right? Because I
Uh-huh.
was one of those kids. So I was one of those kids, man. I needed my Big Mac, but he started out like that, and he got exposed. And when he's with me, he eats vegan.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have a problem with it. But of course, when he's elsewhere, I don't pressure him. I'm not on top of him, but I do tell him. I always say, Pharaoh, I know you're a kid and I don't want to put a lot of pressure on you, but you're smart. You know the difference between certain things. So that means you have the capacity to make decisions. You
Uh-huh.
just make sure you're making decisions that will benefit you in the long run. And then of course little things have happened. Like one day he had this really bad thing going on with his stomach where he probably overindulged in whatever, and he
Yeah.
was going through all types of pain. He had gas and it took him 24 hours to get over it. And in the back of my mind I was like, this is a good way of having this conversation. Like, this is a
Look,
good.
I told you, stop. You see? Chicken nuggets, huh? You wanted the chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I was like,
It's
baby,
like, give it to him.
this is an example of your body reacting to things that it shouldn't have. And I want you to
Uh-huh.
keep this in mind, you know. So I honestly feel like this is a really smart kid. I feel like he's logical. And I do feel like in the future, he will end up on a side where he's taking care of himself, you know,
Sure.
whether he's vegan or
Sure.
not.
Yeah, I would like to do that with my daughter.
If you start her
And
out vegan, she'll be fine. If you start her
see,
out with whatever, she will be okay. It's when the other people come in
that's the
and
thing.
influence that. Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm the only one who's pushing for this vegan. Well,
Vegan baby.
yeah, and diet in general. Because
Yeah.
my lady still eats everything. So
Yeah. She still
um,
eats everything because look at her body. She doesn't gain an ounce.
yeah,
She's like
yeah.
shit.
Fuck it.
Let me tell you, Ivory, once you hit 32, your body starts saying, all right now, this is what we
Mhm.
not gonna do. You know.
It's what we not gonna eat. All right. No, I think she'll probably come back around because she actually was the one who put me back on because I was vegetarian at first. I always jump back and forth. So I was vegetarian once and then I stopped when I was dating her. I don't think I was had any specific diet. I was just eating everything. And then she wanted to, I think she got into Dr. Sebi or Sabi
Mm,
and she wanted to try out being vegan and vegetarian. So we started being vegetarian together. So we were vegetarian together for a while.
nice.
And then she jumped ship and I kept
Yeah.
going.
It makes
So
sense. And it's dope when the people that you're around are on the same page because that was a challenge for me.
yeah.
The word vegan, like, you know, I'm around all these people and 98% of them have never even heard it. So now they're wondering like what type of weird thing I'm doing. But then again, I'm always the one who's into something. Because
Yeah,
even my
yeah.
best friend, like one night we went out to eat, I'm never gonna forget this, even though I know for sure she probably doesn't even remember it because it was such a small occurrence. We were having food in the city and I'm ordering and inquiring about the menu items. So she says to me, "So what are you now?" She's like, "What are you now?" Because it's always something with
Yeah.
me. It's always something, man.
Trying
But
trying to always trying different diets and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Well, it's good. It shows that you're proactive about yourself. Period. You're just proactive about your health, your knowledge, your everything. You're just being proactive about it because some people just some people just always eat the stuff that they ate as kids.
yeah.
Some people just keep that that same lifestyle that they're used to it and stuff, and it's like McDonald's is bad and you still go and eat all the Mickey D's, and it's like, bro, we were kids. Yeah, it's a big beautiful sign, they reel you in with the playhouse and all of that stuff, but you a grown up now.
The Playhouse.
Yeah, like, yeah, I used to go to McDonald's and I
Yo,
like being in the Playhouse better than the burgers and stuff.
that was
I'd
a.
rather go to the Playhouse.
It's so mind blowing to me how they mind fucked us into really thinking that McDonald's was a
Genius.
treat, right?
Genius.
McDonald's was like a
Comes with the
gift.
toys.
Yo, what? I still
It's
like anything where you give me something and then I get a little extra thing and
trinket.
it makes sense. Like so I get it. Like I
Shaking the cereal box. It's like
exactly. Like if you buy a meal and you get a pencil, I'm like, "What? Yes, I want a pencil." You know,
I don't
so
need the pencil, but I want the pencil.
yeah, that's what they do in McDonald's and
That's
it was genius.
marketing. That's genius marketing because what they do is try to instill that in you as a child, those memories, those things. Oh, I got a Ninja Turtle toy.
And then
And
they got you for
forever,
life.
for life, you're growing up subconsciously too. Because I mean, the toys, they never last more than a week
And
or
that's
a
what I'm
day.
trying to tell you that they still got me because I will
Uh
buy a $30 thing to get a free pencil that
huh.
probably cost uh
But you don't go to McDonald's, so
nah
they got you, but they
McDonald's.
don't got you.
I don't know. I the mindset, but McDonald's is just trash. I'm sorry. Like the
It
food
is trash.
and I'm talking about food quality, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you about those fries though. Those fries are not fucking vegan.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen Super Size Me?
Yes, I
I
did.
was I think that was the turning point for me. I was completely
Yes,
done
I
with
did.
McDonald's after that.
I would know after seeing Super Size Me, I continued. Having,
Really?
yes, I still had those fries. I love the fries and the barbecue sauce. I would take the barbecue sauce and the buffalo sauce and mix them together and eat the fries with that. Or
Listen,
I
we're
would,
trying to steer people away from McDonald's, all right?
I'm not trying
Oh,
to
wait.
steer them. I'm speaking my truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a struggle for
Mix it with the
me.
barbecue sauce and the pop.
It was so good because I needed it to be spicy. So I buy a large fry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I will buy the red drink. I don't even remember the fucking
Fruit
red
is like a
drink.
fruit punch, high C, probably
S-
high C or something.
Probably not that because I hated that shit as a kid. It wasn't that, but
What?
it was
The
that. No, no,
child doesn't like high C.
nah. That the flavor didn't click for me. It wasn't good. Like Hawaiian punch, all that stuff. Nah, wasn't.
Your flavor noise is off.
Yeah, clearly. So, yeah, but it took me a minute to like give McDonald's the finger because the fries, man. Yo, what do y'all put in them fries? I looked it up. It's like
Fries is
20.
not all
It's like
that.
I what? Use a madman. There's like
Nah.
22 ingredients in those fries though,
I was on
including
Checkers.
beef.
Checkers is number
Now
one.
see checkers, that's another demon. Like I wasn't even it wasn't even
I
appealing to me.
still eat Checkers fries.
Really? I've
Yeah,
never I
I
don't think
still
I've
they're
ever.
so greasy, but I still
Really?
every now and then I just go and get fries, just
I see,
fries.
I see checkers and I drive by and I'm like, there's nothing about it that makes me want to
The
try it.
fries?
I've no, I didn't
Wait,
get
you've never had the
exposed.
fries?
Checkers is kind of relatively new in New York, right? It wasn't always a New York
Nah.
thing because I feel like I never seen it.
Well, I don't know, but on Long Island there's a lot of them.
Mm,
I don't know about the actually now that I think about it, they don't have
yeah.
many in the city.
Nah, I grew up in Brooklyn where it was McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's,
Yeah, they
and
don't have many.
but I think there is one in Brooklyn right now, somewhere near Utica Avenue.
They don't have many Checkers, but Long Island, yeah, they're all over.
But I think they started popping up when I just didn't care for fast
Yeah,
food.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So you were lucky because
even
of those
like
fries.
Chick-fil-A, like people talk about that. So
Overrated.
I hear so much about this place that I was like, fuck, do I want to
Overrated.
go eat their food now because we're the biggest promoters of these corporations.
Yeah.
We promote
Yeah.
their stuff.
The word of mouth is
Yo, when
serves.
that Popeye chicken sandwich came out,
Oh, let's not even go there.
we broke the internet talking about that
Yeah.
shit.
So horrible.
Yo, one of my
And I
cousins
don't
said,
get it.
my cousin was like, I'm just gonna wait in 20 years to see how all of these people eating this chicken sandwich gonna come back and say, yeah, we're doing a study group for all the people who ate those Popeye chicken sandwiches because they now have this growth or
They
this
have an
thing.
extra foot. I never understood the phenomena behind the Popeye's chicken sandwich. And I was just even while it was happening, I think I was eating meat at the time and I was just like, what?
So hold
Y'all
on.
standing in line for hours for a sandwich?
I
Are
don't know
you
if this is a
telling me?
stupid question or not. It's not even the sandwich, is the hype. I want to be able to say that I'm a part of the hype, but Popeyes never offered chicken sandwiches before that?
I don't know. I was
Is that
never
their
big on
first? Okay.
Popeyes.
Cuz
I think they were well, you see, I have no clue, but I think they were like KFC, like they were buckets and like little popcorn
well, I'm
chicken
familiar with that
thing.
because my son's sister introduced me to Popeyes. We had this thing years ago. We when you come to my house, even though I cook meat, there's no junk food. We did have junk food if we were going to the movies, if we were going to the beach or a special activity, then we'll have junk.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe if we're doing a Friday night thing, because we like to camp and have s'mores in the living room, right? So um, I told them if we're going to the beach, you guys get to choose a junk restaurant. She introduced me to Popeyes. I'm in my 30s, first time being introduced to Popeyes. And
Like you never even seen it or never recognized it?
I've seen Popeyes, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
just
know. I
didn't.
just never
Yeah,
went. Maybe I was eating KFC. I don't know, but
yeah.
she introduced me to Popeye. This is a little kid, by the way. She's probably, I don't remember the age, but let me just throw out there. She's probably like 10. I don't know.
Uh,
But we go to Popeyes and she said, try the strawberry soda. I think it's Fanta. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But we're on our way to the beach. So we get the chicken. She said, get the spicy one because you like spicy. Yo, when we got to the beach and I ate that chicken and the biscuit with the jelly. Oh my God. Yo, my belly, did you hear my belly? My belly is growling right now. The biscuit with the jelly. Have you ever had a Popeyes biscuit with that grape jelly and
No.
the strawberry Fanta? This is all food that's gonna kill you, right? But I
Uh,
looked at her and I was like, Shania, yo, you just
was
put
that
me
good?
on. It was so good. Like I've never had biscuits like that ever. Popeyes biscuits, man, so good. But
Better than Red Lobster?
that's a whole different ball game of
Okay,
biscuits.
okay, okay.
That red
Just making sure
lobster,
we on the same page.
that red lobster biscuit took my family by storm because no,
Bring
for
the
real.
biscuits. Bring more biscuits out here.
No, let me
What's wrong
tell
with
you
you?
what happened. My cousin discovered, this is years ago, she discovered the recipe online, Thanksgiving game changer. It was
Oh, that's
over.
crazy.
Yo,
They sell
having
it in a box now. I'll buy it
I
in a
saw it.
box.
I saw it in the supermarket. I was like, okay,
It's not as good, but it's good.
it can't be because it's not fresh, you know. So that ship
Yeah, yeah,
sailed for
yeah.
me, so it wasn't appealing. But when it was appealing, having Red Lobster biscuit anytime you wanted and you didn't have to go to Red Lobster, game changer. Ain't
Yeah,
no
yeah,
biscuit
yeah.
like that. But I'm done
Mm-mm.
with it because I did have it some while back, and when I've had my struggles with reverting to things that I'm not supposed to eat, my body doesn't let that shit slide ever.
Mm.
Ever. And my boyfriend would tell you, like, if I'm eating something um that we both know my body won't be cool with, he'll be like, are you sure you want to eat that? Because he has to deal with me
Yeah,
crying
yeah.
and moaning about it. But my
Uh-huh.
body doesn't let me wild out and go crazy. It reacts immediately.
Wow.
So
So I was gonna ask you, you don't cheat at all?
what do you mean on the vegan diet?
Yeah.
Currently no, because that's not where I'm at. But I
Oh.
did have a moment when, if you've I don't know if you've heard me, uh I don't know why I thought you meant, do I cheat in my relationship? That was so weird in my head. But anyway, when you're like, do you cheat? I'm like, no. What did you hear? Uh, so yo, I don't know why my brain did that. I'm here
You
like,
just went all the way. Well, you did say your boyfriend in this sentence
right.
before,
So
so
I'm
it
like,
was like it just happened to it was just
I need to
happened to
eat.
be a
I haven't eaten.
you
Like,
do.
yeah, I need to eat because my
You do.
brain and shit
Brain is
like that
like
makes you look guilty, right?
yeah, he's like,
Now I'm
no,
trying to fix it so I
no, I don't cheat.
now I'm trying to fix it so I don't look guilty. But in that moment, I was like, what do you mean, do I cheat? Did you
Why
hear
would he
something?
ask me that?
Yeah. So did you see me last week? But so there was a time when um I would openly say, um I'm not claiming veganism. Like, I'm not gonna call myself a vegan just in case I travel or I go somewhere and
Mm,
I
yeah,
just want to eat a chicken wing or whatever. I didn't want to
yeah,
take on that responsibility. So if you saw me, don't come for me because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't send for you. But yeah, we're past that.
So you're all the way in.
Yeah, and
Even sorry, go ahead.
it's a
It's
beautiful
beautiful.
thing. It's really not only from the perspective of eating, but as a culinary artist,
Yeah.
just seeing what other chefs before me have done with this, the creativity, that shit is exhilarating because there was a time when you thought if I have a burger, it has to be beef.
Uh-huh.
Now I can
Yeah.
make a burger with mushrooms. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
can put
Yeah.
beans
Yeah.
together, and
Mm,
that's the creativity behind it is super exciting.
that's awesome. So not even well, it's
McDonald's fries.
probably a dumb question. No, like not even like candy or anything like that.
I
Like you
think
don't have any
okay,
of those vices
okay.
like candy, ice
Well,
cream.
the candy vice was never mine. Even when I didn't eat vegan. It's just not my realm, you know.
Mm.
As a kid, I was into candy, but I think that's where sometimes I probably will. Okay, so I do have to change my narrative a little bit now, because sometimes you do eat things and you don't know that
You
it's
don't
not
know if
vegan.
it's, yeah, yeah,
You
sure.
know, when it appears to be vegan, like you
Uh-huh.
said, candy. So let's just say something like candy, for instance, just a Jolly Rancher or whatever. You're probably sucking on this candy and you have no idea that they took
It
a
has
piece of
gelatin.
gelatin
Hmm.
uh, is in it. So I think for me, that's probably, but I'm not in that realm where I'm eating that type of stuff anyway. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. There are certain items that you'll read the ingredients and you're like, why? Like, is it necessary for you to do this
Yeah,
shit?
I wonder that because that would be the hard, I think that would be the very, like, on the day, like, I'm right before I become vegan. That would be the hardest thing, getting rid of like cakes and candies, because I love cake and
Well,
candy.
here's
So
the thing about candy. Unless there are specific candies that you must have, there's a
mhm,
whole vegan world of candy.
that's true. And I love Twizzlers, and I found that Twizzlers are vegan.
Yeah, I'm not into that, so that's all
I
yours.
love Twizzlers. There's so many different kinds of Twizzlers. You
I'm
gotta
not.
expand
Nah, I'm good.
your,
Thanks.
you can indulge in candy.
I appreciate your concern for my excitement in life, but I will kindly decline. I'm
Okay.
good with the Twizzlers. The only
That
thing
would be
about
my only thing.
Twizzlers that I think is appealing, which is the reason why I eat other certain things. Sometimes it's not even the flavor, but it's the texture and how you have to eat it. I
The
like,
pull and peel,
because I really love bite-sized things.
all the little bite
Even
sized
yesterday,
ones.
I was telling somebody, like, if I eat biscuits, which, you know, come in vegan version now, oh,
Yeah.
the flaky ones, I can't just bite the biscuit. I don't want to bite a biscuit.
You gotta peel
I
it.
peel it layer by layer. Like,
Yeah, me too. When it's the flaky ones, you gotta
yeah,
peel it. Why is it
you have.
flaky? Why would you not peel it? Like, it's the flaky ones. It comes in layers. You gotta peel it.
I'm so relieved that you don't think I'm a weirdo for that, because
No.
that's how I am. Like, there's certain foods that if I'm eating popcorn, I can't turn that bucket over in my face and just pour. I want to eat it one by one or two by two or in small bites. Like, I
All right,
enjoy it better.
that's now you're weirdo.
Now I'm a
I
psycho,
got it. I
like
love
Michael Jackson
popcorn.
in Thriller.
Oh my goodness, I love popcorn.
Yeah,
See, those are the little things that is going to be a little hard for me now. That movie theater butter, something about that butter. It's a
well,
heart attack for sure. It smells, tastes like it's a heart attack.
I think the
But
thing for
something
me with
about that butter.
the thing about me with movie theater, but even before, my issue with the movie theater butter is the fact that it's melted and
Hmm.
now it just looks like oil.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's like
sit well
oil.
with me. It never did. So I would either just talk myself through the whole
Yeah,
process, like I'm pouring it on and I'm like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm shaking the bucket. Like, yeah, it's just butter. It's melted butter. Calm down. Seriously, in my head, I'm having this big battle because it
that's
just looks like
crazy.
oil and
Yeah,
oil on
it
popcorn.
basically is oil. I mean, I don't know what kind of butter that is, but I'm pretty sure it's like
That shit looks like oil
oil.
with flavoring. They be trying
Yeah.
it with
It's
these
probably
foods.
exactly what it is. It's got to be some flavored thing, and probably, I don't know. I wonder if it's even, it might be vegan. It might just be a
And
chemical,
that's
like,
funny.
some
That's
chemical.
hilarious because you just hit a nail on the head that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of things are vegan because they're artificial.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not real, it's not fat from milk. It's just something that came out of a lab.
Mm-hmm. GMO fat.
Wow, genetically modified fat. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's coming. They're I think, was it Bill Gates talking about making meat in a lab and stuff. They want to stop killing animals.
Animals.
They want to stop
That's
the
already happening, by the way.
reproducing the animals and stuff.
Uh,
So they want to just make a steak.
and
One steak. I'm gonna make it.
that's how the future becomes vegan, because when people put these foreign objects or these foreign substances, foreign organisms into their bodies, the body's gonna be like, mm-mm,
Mm,
mm-mm, we're not
that's the
doing that.
thing. Yeah, what's that gonna do?
And then people are gonna be like, you know what, fuck the lab meat. Let me just eat lettuce.
But that may be our
Excuse me.
way into some type of evolution. And when I say evolution, I don't want to make it seem like we're become enlightened, like, you know, it might be a good thing, but like I feel like we might evolve into something else by having a strictly GMO diet. Like if everything becomes GMO, then I feel like we're gonna evolve somehow, like
Yo, I love
grow an
that you said that. I love that you said
extra
that.
head. So we have two heads.
I love that you said that
Mm-hmm.
because we're gonna wrap up soon, but um what's interesting about that is that's precisely like my thought process on this human experience. This has nothing to do with veganism, but uh I do feel like, there are people who make plans for us that we don't even know are happening. People have been planning 2020 decades ago, even
Uh-huh.
100 years ago, and they pass these things on to, the exclusive set of people who know this information. Like, we're destined to go into a space where we no longer function in this form.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking about this AI and all of that, people are against it. They don't like it. But humans also already came from another form. Like, we
Sure.
weren't always this. So we
Yes,
we
yes,
are
yes.
destined to be something else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because I've heard I don't know how true this is, but I've heard that we evolved because we started eating meat, because
Yes.
that pushes you, because once you now you have this other food source. So now we have this
Yeah.
other food source. We have to chase these animals, we have to
Yeah.
hunt them, and then we have to figure out how to store it. Excuse me. You have to figure out how to store it so that gets the gears
The
turning, like,
brain.
all right, so we
And the
gotta,
brain
how
grew.
can, yeah, brain grows now. So it's like, all right, so we got to figure out how do we store this, or, oh, people are getting sick by eating it, so what do we got to do? Oh, let's take the fire and burn it, and then we can cook it, and that will, so it's like that helped us evolve into
Absolutely. All
humans
facts.
we are now.
Yeah.
So
I
we're gonna
love it.
evolve, people.
I love it. We're always going to evolve.
GMO people.
Don't be afraid of evolution. No matter how much we fight it, no matter how much we feel like, these people are playing God or whatever, um, ultimately it's going to happen. The only thing that
Yep.
I will say is, if there's something that's happening that you are completely against, speak up, make moves, do something about it. Because at the end of the day, when we sit down and we're quiet and we're complaining about stuff and we're not doing anything about it, we're essentially just wasting time. And
Sure.
it's happening anyway. So
Mm-hmm. Superb.
but
Well,
I don't believe that I do not believe that Bill Gates will end up on the cute side of history. um
yeah, she's definitely shifting into something villainous, like low key villainous,
I
not
don't
like
think it's low
in your
key.
face.
I think it's pretty much, I think it's very much in our faces, and
Mm,
people are choosing not to see because we idolize people who make a lot of money. And even the current president, like, when how many people was really idolizing this man and admiring him because of the amount of
uh-huh.
money that he's made, but he's always been this thing that you don't like.
Sure. Sure.
So yeah, we like people because they make a lot of money, and we overlook certain things about them, but
Mm-hmm.
that's on you, man.
It ain't my bag. It ain't my bag. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. I appreciate it. It's always good. Now
It's
I'm
been
definitely
fun.
more knowledgeable about being vegan, and I think I'll make the transition. So
I think you
I'm
will. I
definitely going to
think
be
you
coming
will.
to you.
Yeah, of course.
the sumptuous vegan, and right, because you changed the
Yep.
name now.
Yep. I ain't
So
correct you, so you got.
oh, lit. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely come to you because I know that's gonna be difficult. And to
And
anyone else who's looking to
can
make the
you tell
transition.
the people that you've had my food?
Oh yes, I've had her food. I went to the cooking class and I cooked and had her cooking, so it was good. It's pretty good, and it was all vegan. And I was surprised. And I don't eat certain things like mushrooms. And I had mushroom
There's another person there
portobello.
as there's another person who was like, I don't like mushrooms, but he indulged and he loved it.
Yeah, yeah. It's how you cook it
Yeah, it
is
is.
what I learned. You
And
know,
people
because I'm
think that people have this misconception that when you cook vegan, that it has to be bland and whack. No, season your
no,
food.
put the
Season
seasoning
it
in it.
the way you
Seasoning
would.
is vegan,
Cause
guy.
y'all be seasoning your meat with plant items. Do you notice that? You season your meat with garlic, you season
Yeah.
your meat with onions. You're seasoning your meat to taste like something else.
Oh, stop it. You're going too far.
You're seasoning your meat with plants.
Take it easy. It's bars.
How do you side eye? Like this? I don't even know what a side eye. Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Bruh. Come on, bruh.
Seasoning
All
your
right.
cow with garlic
That's
and
a great point.
thyme and rosemary.
And oregano.
Yeah, season your meat with plants.
Yeah, you stupid. Hang up the phone.
Shut the front door.
Thank you once again. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you.
I think you guys should season your meat with meat
Great idea.
since you love it that
Put
much.
that in a bottle. Sell it. They have bacon bits.
Facts, man. And
It's
that
in a little shaker.
bacon is like the downfall of the whole world. That shit is in ice cream, it's in
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Ice cream.
But anyway, you have been tuned into the Nola Experience podcast. I am so grateful that you took this time out to listen to us cackle and um, be silly and, pronounce things wrong and whatnot.
Yep.
Um,
Because we definitely do that.
yeah, I'm waiting for the day when someone says something to me like, you pronounce it wrong. I'll be like, so the fuck what?
You know what I was saying, didn't you?
Yo, I'm waiting for y'all. I have an arsenal of responses ready for you guys. Like I have a box of
I'm
responses
mad you reached for the pad like you had it
ready.
right in front of you. Like,
Oh, I was
come
gonna
on
pull
here.
out the box, but then I'll have to open it and show you guys all the responses that it's filled.
Oh no. Oh no.
Um, yeah, so if you come for me, I will open my box and say, let me see what to say to her. Okay.
Jealousy. Jealousy. Jealousy.
Don't you jealous me.
Don't you jealousy.
So
Jealousy.
you said that I pronounced a word wrong. The survey says, who gives a fuck?
And then the court of a people's opinion, you lose.
Yo, you guys are my experience, and I'm super excited to be yours. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure you tune into the YouTube, the Instagram, the Facebook. Leave reviews wherever you can. Every time you leave a review, it helps us become more visible. More people see us. Every time you leave a comment on the YouTube, the algorithm says, they're talking about this. Let's share it
They
with more
popping.
people. So we appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Keep doing it. Keep coming back, and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, and we're gonna keep coming back. All right.
Super facts. Thank
Love
you.
ya.
Much love. Peace.